Hey everyone, welcome back to Brown Coat Nerd. Today we're going to be looking at the Bianchi Type 2 holster Italian Police Surplus for the Beretta 92. Or actually, technically, I don't think it's specifically for the 92. It's for mid-size frames, but they used it for the 92. Real quick, I want to remind everyone to go check out my Rumble as well as my Instagram. I would greatly appreciate it. Now on to the video. So, real quick, I know last week we looked at the Bianchi M12 holster. I just filmed that video. What did I do with it? Here it is. This guy here, I had to change out my backdrop, so I figured that would get lost in it, but thought it would look cool against this holster. This holster, I already had this guy. I've got several other leather holsters for my 92S. I don't need any more. And I sold one of my 92Ss, so I only have the one in multiple holsters. I saw this guy on Sportsman Guide, and I knew I had to get it. Like I said, this is advertised as Italian Police Surplus. I did get it for 20 bucks off of sportsmanguide.com. It is advertised as like new, and I would generally agree with that. It's definitely used, but it's not too bad a shape. The reviews on that will vary. We'll get to that in a moment. Now, this is listed as the Bianchi Type 2, but this particular one is made by Radar 1957. I've got some of their small holsters for the Beretta 80 series I've been meaning to bring you guys, so we'll circle back around to that and make a video on those. It's got the nylon case shell. On Sportsman Guide, it is item number 736717. And like I said, some of the reviews are bad. I got lucky on this one. It is in pretty good shape. We got just a little bit of dirt here. I haven't tried to clean this up at all, but just a little bit of a very light dirt smudge there. We can see on some of the screws or buttons, most specifically this one, that these are definitely worn. We got a little bit of scuffing there. Not too bad. Inside looks pretty good. Got this nice, I don't know if that's coming up very well, but we got a plastic rail that goes all the way down to the bottom to kind of protect the sights, which I think is pretty neat. I don't think my other Bianchi has that. Hold on, let me check that. No, that one's just nylon. It's got like an extra piece of fabric, like canvas in there, but that's all the protection you get. This one actually has plastic, which is pretty cool. You got this little plastic thumb brake here. It does say Polizia on it, which I thought was pretty cool. And then I do believe you can loosen these screws up, and kind of adjust the angle of this holster. But other than that, it looks in really good shape. Like normally when these are used, these edges here are going to be frayed quite a bit or just show lots of wear discoloration. This one really doesn't. I mean, it's all down to that button and that really light dirt spot there. But other than that, it's in really freaking good shape. Let's get out the 92S. And so you see how that works. It's got that little tab that sticks up, and then you just push your thumb over, and that breaks that loose. Didn't show this in the first video, but I will point out that this is empty. Any firearm you see in front of the camera has been safety checked off camera prior to filming. Let's get that guy back in it. But anyway, so yeah, don't need a holster at all. Not one bit. I got plenty, more than enough. But the blue canvas just really caught my eye. Now, if you're a sci-fi nerd like me, you might be familiar with the modification a lot of people like to do to these 92s, is they will turn them into a gun called a samurai. Now, this is from a video game, I guess now / movie, Resident Evil. It is one of the gun options in the game. Very clearly, it was a Beretta 92. They called it a samurai. And the elite police force were called stars. I might be getting some of the details wrong on that. I was never a huge Resident Evil fan, forgive me. But that's a very common mod that people like to do, is turn their 92 into kind of a quote-unquote samurai stars handgun. They'll get the grips with the little stars medallion, the whole 9 yards. And honestly, if I was doing one of those builds, I feel like this is a really good holster option. Kind of went back at some of the images. But on the show or video game or both, they all kind of blur together for me. Like I said, I was never really huge into it. a lot of the police uniforms are kind of this dark blue, and that holster just really jumped out to me, and immediately I'm thinking, holy crap, that would be cool for a Samurai Star build. I'm not doing one of those, but I still had to have it because it was freaking cool. So just want to put that out there. If any of you guys plan on doing one of those builds, I think this would be a pretty good holster complement. Like I said, I went back and looked at a lot of images. Not a lot. I called this research in. Like I looked over the images for like 3 minutes on my free time, from both the movie and the video game. The light blue uniform seem to kind of be a little more prevalent in the video game. I never really see them with any holsters like this. I think I saw some like cheesy, cheap looking drop leg holsters. So this isn't specifically a copy of a holster from the game or show, but I feel like it would complement it very well because it just kind of matches in. So there's my little rant on that. But regardless, I think this is a pretty nice holster. Is it better than the other Bianchi that I purchased that I didn't need either? This one's a little bit different. You have that flap over top that protects it much more. So my kind of thoughts, if I ever did use this, just being out in the field, this would serve that purpose better. Also, these, I'm not saying these are rare, but they're not nearly as common as these. These are everywhere. This is like the Toyota Camry of the holster world. These aren't as common. I've only seen them on Sportsman Guide. I don't know how many they have. I don't know if you can find them other places. But I'd be a little more concerned about thrashing this one than this guy. This is almost disposable to me. As far as ease of use, I mean, I think both of them, you know, wouldn't have really much of an issue with that. This one's going to stick out from your body a little bit more than this one, which for some people in whatever condition you're wearing it in, may be an advantage or disadvantage. So I can't really say one's better than the other, but they are the two differences there to keep in mind. Now, I've only seen this holster available with this dark blue canvas. And reading the reviews on Sportsman Guide, which is where I got this one from, I want to give you guys a heads up. It has a lot of bad reviews. Like I said, the listing is like new, which I would absolutely say this falls under. I mean, there's like no dings on this plastic whatsoever. But there's lots of images shared with people getting this saying, like new, my ass, you know. Very, very dirty canvas, which to me is like the big cool selling point of this gun is that blue canvas. So if you screw that up, the holster just loses a lot of its cool factor. So that is unfortunate, but it seemed to be like a lot of people getting those complaints. Now, at the time I've ordered this, I've always had really good experience with Sportsman Guide. I rarely read the reviews unless I have a question about something. This, I just didn't know much about, so I just blindly ordered it. And then while I was waiting for it to show up, I was like, hey, I should screenshot some of the stats to bring you guys in the video. And that's when I saw the reviews, and I was like, oh, boy. What am I going to get? But like I said, I'm very happy with what I got. I've got no complaints. Also, if you do get a crappy one, it's been several years since I have had to deal with Sportsman Guides, customer service, and returning things. But the 2 or 3 times I did, like I said, it's been several years, it was always very easy, very painless, not much of an issue. But full disclosure, it has been a while. I just recently renewed my membership. So I might be buying more from them. But anyways, in the past, they've been a really good company to work with. But I thought this was just really cool, really unique. Falls into my Beretta surplus collection. Apparently now my surplus Beretta 92 collection of holsters, as well as kind of my sci-fi nerd in me. Like I said, I've got no use for this holster, but it was going to drive me nuts if I didn't get one. And they were, what did I say I paid for this? $20. So it was actually $5 cheaper than when I paid for the Bianchi. So like, why not? So I just want to get this video out there for you guys. I know a lot of you are nerds. I have a feeling that at least a few of you have Samurai Beretta builds. So want to get this out to you, expose you to it before they sell out. I did check their website 2 days ago before filming this, which this will be. So I checked their website early. No, we're not early anymore. Mid to late January, and they're still available. This video is going to probably come out sometime in February. So yeah, there you go. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please consider liking and subscribing. And of course, as always, stay safe and stay shiny.